I lost two people to suicide a few years ago back in high school. I promised never to reveal their names, but I can tell you who they were and how they went. One was my very first girlfriend. She came to me simply because she saw me and how comforting I was to everyone else who needed a helping hand to mentally get back on their feet and stay happy. One year, probably sophomore year for myself, they left, and their parents got a hold of their phone and texted everyone they could on it, including myself, that she had done herself in with a knife. This was the first, and I had gone into a depressive state for the next week. The other, a close friend of mine. Whether the first or second I would have called a brother from another mother. This guy was beside himself and crying when I first met him, and I could go on about all the different things he would tell me in secret about his life. There were times I made him smile, and one night, when we were on his Xbox and playing Halo, I went downstairs and talked to their mom and dad and prepared some dinner. When I got back up, he had been hanging from the top of the ceiling fan, and I had to scream to make sure they knew I wasn't some sort of murderer. The scene was just too outright horrible to immediately come back to after such a good talk. I still remember the smile on his face. Both times I had done everything in my power to divert them away from this sort of thing, to make sure they knew not to do this, but they did it anyway, and I learned damn hard lessons from them both. Then, nearly came myself. Past all I was taught in homeschooling, past my brawn and kindness and charisma, a lot was on my own plate. My parents were always yelling at me back then, kicking me outside with no food or water or any money to obtain some in any stores or any malls or any fast food restaurants. And I was at an unforgiving school with people who shoved me around literally just because, and I was already as kind as possible to these guys. Past all my appeals too to my teachers and coaches and my staff activity holders, I'd always have the worst ones possible. Teachers who shoved me away and redeemed my guidance as just in their actions. I got C's in their classes because they didn't care, and ISS for 2 days, and one passed my already pristine record simply just because they hated my guts and made a whole Karen fit about it. The coaches and activity staff members always picked the same stuck-up kids for their stuff and removed what would have been such amazing things on my resume. All because of alienation. I felt like I didn't exist, and so I decided to do something wrong about it. I lived on a boat in a dock in Virginia because my father wanted an easy and mobile place to live in. One night he wasn't home. On the edge of the stern, or rear, of the boat, I looked at my own reflection in the water and saw something that was hollow, something not loved, something that had lost everything past all my powerful efforts to try and just get it back. That same nothing tipped himself over to the water, and I had just let myself to drown and not care how deep the water was or if my breath would give out. But then I realized something. I began to ask myself not if they didn't care as usual, but what if they did care for how much I've done for them? What would people think if I was gone? My father, when he came home and saw my note left on the table. My friends and the teachers at my high school, no matter their attitude, when they learned I took their hate so much to heart, I literally killed myself because of that. What about the people online? Almost all I had left were friends or family even. What if my father texted them and told them what had happened? I opened my mouth right then and there, gasping with this thought and for air. I swam back up to the dock. I got back onto safety. I coughed up water. You wouldn't believe how relieved I was to see my sister so happy to hear I was alive. That I told her I was about to end it all, but then didn't. And you won't know how happy I am now that I've entirely put that behind me, and that I'm here to still teach words of wisdom about stuff like this, and to still enjoy the amazing and plentiful fruits of the world wherever they may be. Let me give those very words of wisdom to you now about self-harm and self-esteem, if you might be of need. How much these words are going to matter, and how much you should care about yourself, the people around you, and the future that will be better for your sake. Guaranteed. Firstly, and this might be obvious, think about everything that might be ailing you right now. like different directions and magnitudes of pressure on this one singular object, like a sphere for instance, as it bends to all these different forces. Every source, every bit of stress, every mental and physical weight you bear to this very day. Think about that. Alright. Now, as I speak, I want you to imagine how every little thing I might say is breaking it all apart, crumbling it away bit by bit. And by the end of this video, it all should look like nothing but mere feathers that bear on your shoulders and back. Realize something here and now. It is a given that you currently exist, right? And that you take up space in both space itself and time. You're a living being capable of so many, many things on this earth. Others in some more desolate places would give an arm and a leg to do. Drinking clear water, or even your favorite chocolate milk, for instance. Some people would need to wait hours for a rescue team of some sort to forward that stuff to them, or any other way that they can even scrounge it. Be thankful you have even the simplest of commodities, and realize that you matter simply by the factoid that you exist. If you're waving your arms and yelling at someone and blowing as many bells and whistles as you can to get someone's attention, someone who can expand your horizons in one way or another, and they keep ignoring you, it's not on you that they've shut off this opportunity for you to expand. It's entirely on them for shutting it off to you in the first place. Especially in social alienation. That is no good. If you've put in enough or more than enough into something to please someone or a group of people who will never tell you if you did, or if they raise the bar more than it is healthy enough for you to reach, it's entirely on them that they're doing this. Fuck them. Realize that talk is cheap, and that actions will speak far louder than the words or bullshit that spouts out of their fucking mouths. Their possibly aristocratic ways of giving in to cold children and hoofing like the fucking pussies they are, that's bullshit compared to you. You're far better than them just by keeping to the standards you yourself know is right by undeniable fact. Another thing that you should keep in mind: never, ever, ever forget anybody who is still currently by your side to give you a boost. Always accept their help, because every little bit of that is free, and it counts, and it matters. They're there for you because they care for you, and they want you to know that you matter. Never scare them or use the idea of pain itself to call their attention in any form, shape, or way, because they'll only grow fearful for your sake. Any bit of weird sorts of messages, any bit of venting art, or anything like that that shows that you are in deep trouble. All you have to do is ask people, and they will come. They will come to you. All you have to do is ask, not scare them. Ask. And especially don't say that you'll do yourself in with a willy-nilly sort of style after you might have already once said otherwise meaningfully that you would have stopped it. Be as truthful as possible to them, and they will conform to you and help you better. They're there for you, and they love you. Then comes the big question you might have on your mind right now. Past all of this stuff to keep in mind, how can I tell what I'm doing matters? How can I get past my problems, no matter how tiring they are, or how many times I've tried, or how long I've tried to beat it all down? How can I get past them? Am I even good enough for the world? Remember something, hero. You've already come this far. You were able to get here because you were able to make your foot hit the pedal and accelerate forward in life. You got here because you never gave up this far. You got here because you didn't quit. And remember something. Warriors don't quit. Be proud for how much you've done so far, how far you've come in general, how much you were able to do for your long-term goals while under this kind of pressure. The factors and sources of that pressure, which, by the point in this video, should look like nothing but mere grains of dust for you. Remember that you've got so many people rooting for you out there, and so much in the future that is waiting to be given to you. Some of it is destined to be bad. Life isn't easy. Hasn't been for a lot of people just like you. Bite down hard and fight through it until the last gigantic hurdle has been blown through like nothing, and you exit out the other side able to experience nothing else but the good stuff in life. Savor every last bit of it. Add it to your mental list of trophies. Realize that there's more to life than just sadness and depression in each and every waking moment, or pain and torture every time you think you're in the clear. You're tough because of all this. Hardened. Able to take a beating of any kind and keep going. You know how a muscle gets stronger when it's being exercised? How it hurts so bad? Muscle has to be torn in order for it to repair itself. To become stronger. To become mighty. To become unstoppable. If life were as easy as having everything open to you, like getting all the most powerful stuff in a video game first, there'd be nothing to work towards. No light at the end of the tunnel, and no way for you to better yourself and show people just how powerful you really are. How much work, dedication, and effort you put into yourself to be you. And that is why you matter, and you, even though life seems so bleak, have so much going for you right now. There is always a maximum point on any line graph and a minimum. You might never know when these points relative to your own life might strike. Maybe they'll hit soon, or maybe it will take years for them to hit. But think about how much of a victorious fighter you will be for exiting the other side and having braved it all. How heroic in your own right, which is perfectly fine to celebrate, by the way, you were to have come here. There is no need for any kind of award. The biggest, best, most life-changing reward you will have at the end of all this is the permanent flattening of this steep slope called life. You will be happy you've reached it, past all your pain, your sweat, your memories and tears, your sacrifices. It will be worth it. Will be. Trust me on this. And hey, if you've ever met someone in your life who died by their own hand or died in general, wherever they are, if any, they must be smiling right now watching you be able to move forward in your life. That you mean something in the world and that you're able to push forward. Never, ever, ever, ever doubt yourself, protein shake. And wipe every last tear from your eyes right now and every bad memory that still clouds your mind. Your time to hide from danger, your lament of it all, your curse ends right fucking now. Remember the size and scope of what's behind you and focus only on the present. On the factoid that you're not going to let life overpower you and all the hard work you've done and made so far without a fight. Give life that fight and know you are enough. You're too powerful to even think about doing yourself in or hurting yourself. And if you've been given help that you couldn't have reached it without it this very second, be thankful for it. Appreciate who's been there for you. Because they care. And they matter to you. You're the hero of your own story. You should be rightful in front of anybody to call yourself one in that respect. And never, ever forget that there will always be someone out there willing to help you. I just hope I did with this very message to you, buddy. Whatever state you're in, remember something. If everyone else really does hate you for who you are, even though that is probably, absolutely not the case, my nickname is Knox, but my real name is Gerhardt. And know that I love you and respect you for how far you've come. I'll do my best to defend you and shield you with all that I am till the death. That's a promise. I've got plenty of my time and self to spare. And know that if I'm out there, your next closest friend will do that for you, too. I promise that as well. Keep going, and you will get your payday, King. Make me and everyone else proud. Smile on today. Smile! Smile! Keep calm, and fight on, warrior. Good luck to you in the entirety of your life. I hope you achieve your dreams, I hope you achieve your passions, and I hope that you beat this bitch of a life down. Remember, warrior, hero, buddy, you will survive. You will succeed. Kick their ass.